Good morning and welcome back to Bookish. I decided not to participate in the readathon going on this month, primarily because I just didn't think I could probably read all those books in a week. That's my dog whining, I promise you. He's just missing my son. There's nothing really wrong with him. But I didn't think I could read all those books in a week, and I had a little bit of a hard time trying to come up with books for each of the challenges. But I was watching, BookTube channels last night, and I was watching Lucy the Reader's channel, and she came up with her own kind of, readathon, which she calls Classicsathon. And this sounded more like it was something I wanted to do for two reasons. Number one, you only have to read one classic book in the month of August, which I'm pretty sure I can accomplish. And number two, it involves classics, and anything that encourages me to read classics is a good thing. So I'm trying to choose which classic novel I want to read this month. Now, I am still trying to finish my August TBR, working my way through Gilead here, and I have to still have Never Let Me Go on my TBR list for this month, but neither one of those books is too long, and I think I can fit one classic in, so I have choices. So I like 19th century French literature a lot. Balzac is my favorite 19th century French novelist. I enjoy Flaubert. I've read a little bit of Zola, which is really kind of a completely different thing, and I've read The Red and Black by Stendhal. So my choices are kind of weighted in that kind of 19th century French literature direction. I'm not exactly sure why I prefer 19th century French literature, but I seem to prefer it. So my first option is to read The Charterhouse of Parma by Stendhal. I've tried to start this book several times, and I've not been successful in getting very deep into it, and it's one of those things that kind of weighs on my mind that I haven't successfully finished this. Stendhal his style is a little different than most of the other, or a little different to me than other 19th century French authors I've read. It's a little bit difficult, but I do want to read this, so maybe this is a good excuse to focus my efforts on reading it. So that's choice number one. Choice number two would be to read this edition of The Belly of Paris by Émile Zola that I bought some time ago, and probably right after I finished Germinal by Zola. I bought this book, and I never really have taken it very seriously to read it, but it is on my shelf, and it is a classic, and so I do want to read it, so maybe that one. The 19th century French novel I know I can read is Cousin Pons by Balzac. He is my favorite French and 19th century author overall, and I know I could read Cousin Pons this month because I just enjoy his work so much, so this one's not too much of a challenge. And then getting away from French novelists, I thought maybe I should finally read The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. I don't know if you can tell, but this book has been, well, beaten all to hell. And you'd think a book that was in this bad a shape and been beaten up this badly might be a book that the person who owned it had actually read, but it's not. I'm ashamed to tell you, I think I've had this book since college, and if you look at me, you know that was some time ago, getting close to 30 years ago, that I've had this Signet Classic edition of The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. It spent some time in the trunk of my 1981 Camaro. I think that explains why it looks this way. But anyway, I haven't read this book, and it is a Russian novelist instead of a French one, and so I thought maybe I'd choose this one. So I'd kind of like to hear which one of those books, my dozens of subscribers or viewers would like for me to read most. And if I don't get more than, I don't know, 10 votes or so, I'll just pick on my own. But otherwise, let me know. I do want to participate in this Classicsathon started by Lucy the Reader. I'm sure if you're not already subscribed to her channel, you can find it. So let me know what you think, and I'll pick one of these soon and get back to you about the book and about my progress. Thank you for watching.